Townsville are WNBL champions for the fourth time. Heartbreak for the Southside Flyers.
Losing the championship, the fact we didn't even get it to game 3, that brings a massive fire in your belly, and I'm super excited. And I feel like we have a lot of the core group still there. Out of the 4 seasons, we've reached the grand final series 3 times. Knowing that you're a part of this club, I know I expect excellence of myself and of my team, and so I'm ready to go.
I think you can just expect a fast-paced, high-energy, fun and exciting brand of basketball. We shoot a lot of threes, we like to run up and down the floor. Oppositions hopefully are going to hate it. I think the Canberra faithful are going to love it.
Round 2 of the WNBL tips off in the nation's capital as 2 teams who just fell short in their opening round go hunting their first win of the season. The Canberra Capitals were tied with the Lightning with just 1:15 to play, but they couldn't get those late shots to drop. While the Southside Flyers stormed back to within a basket of the Boomers with just over 3 minutes to play, but got closed out late. Tonight, one of them will open their account while the other slips to 0-2. So it's an important evening for these 2 very different looking lineups as they meet at the National Convention Centre in Canberra. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to ESPN's WNBL Wednesdays, right here on your home of hoops. Thanks to Ford Aussie Hoops. Jason Bennett alongside 1996 Coach of the Year, Laurie Chiswick. And Laurie, at this time of the year, we know no teams are at their best yet. So being able to pinch a couple of early wins to just help set up your season can be critical.
Absolutely, Jason. But I tell you what, I'm a chronic fence sitter when it comes to tipping, but I think you'd have to be very brave not to tip against the Southside Flyers. They've got the height, they've got the strength, they've got the experience, right down to their coaches with Kristen Veal in her 2nd season in the WNBL and Cheryl Chambers in her 16th. However, we know anything can happen on any night.
That is true. Kristen Veal, you mentioned a 2nd season, put a new group together and she said, look, this is really a reset with the turnover in players that we've had. We're trying to build a long-term group here that will grow together in the coming seasons. Already lost a couple of players, unfortunately, to test their depth, but Laurie, some great inclusions.
There is, and one of my favourites is Alex Sharp making the move from Perth. I think she'll be integral into this lineup. And the other player is Okaya from the Japanese national team. She had a great Asia Cup and is a really good inclusion. And isn't it great to see Gemma Potter back?
From her 2nd knee reconstruction. Flyers coach Cheryl Chambers, as you mentioned, 16th season for Cheryl. Plenty of changes to bed down in her group as well. They've lost some significant experience, Laurie, but they've gained plenty back in the process.
Well, when you talk about experience and you look at that list, there's none other than Leilani Mitchell. And if you combine her with Mercedes Russell and add in Bet Cole, they were the inaugural players that started out with the Southside Flyers. So they've got a really, really strong lineup, even though they had some major losses.
It's time now to welcome in the 3rd member of our commentary team this evening. Candy Hertz is courtside. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening to you, Jace and Laurie from the National Convention Centre here in Canberra. And as you can hear, the crowd is really into it already. You did mention that both teams are coming off the back of some really close losses. I can tell you there's an energy in here where both are absolutely dying to blow out those cobwebs and get those first W's on the board. Now, we've got some exciting young guns here on the court tonight. We've got the incredible Gemma Potter and we've got Dallas Lockridge. Both of them back and recovered from their ACL injuries last season. They did play round 1, but what we've learnt now is that Gemma is actually on managed minutes just to make sure that no fatigue creeps in. Dallas, however, is not. Now, we do have the GOAT having a homecoming of sorts right now. She did used to, of course, play in Canberra, so it's great to see her back in her old court. I can tell you when they just did the team call out, the crowd did give her a huge cheer, but now it's game on. She is undefeated when it comes against Canberra, so let's see if they can maybe change that stat tonight.
Thanks, Candy. Lauren Jackson into her 13th season at this level. Well, Kristen Veal into her 2nd as coach. Laurie, she's keen to implement a more instinctive freestyle offense, gives her players the green light to call plays on the fly and play on instinct more. But she mentioned in round 1 that crept into their defensive end of the game. She wants them to tighten up at that end.
Well, I think one of the keys defensively is ball pressure. They have to try and stem the flow of the interior passes, given that that's, I'm sure, will be a tactic of Southside. Try and give their defenders time to get established and maybe get a front position. And the second thing is, yes, they want to play free-flowing, but it has to be good ball, good player movement, shift the defense, and then make good decisions out of that. And none other than Alex Sharp will be key to that when they're looking at that ball and player movement. She was sensational in round 1, 21 points, 19 rebounds. She's a hard worker, and she certainly does the little things that go unstatted.
Well, Cheryl Chambers reasonably pleased with most of what Southside produced against the Boomers, but one glaring exception, their rebounding.
Oh, my goodness, blocking out. They gave up 18 offensive rebounds against Melbourne, which resulted in 17 second chance points. So they need to get that job done tonight. And secondly, use their height. They've got a massive height advantage. Canberra aren't particularly tall at all. Get the ball inside. Go to work. You've got the likes of Jackson, Ernst, Potch, and Mercedes Russell that have that height advantage. Mercedes last game, 15 points, 9 rebounds, blocked. She has to be an inside presence out there.
Yeah, wonderful to see her back. Played one season with the Flyers in 2019-20. Then COVID hit. She was set to come back that year. Cheryl's kept in touch with her in the years since and absolutely delighted to have her back in the program. So real contrast in styles we're expecting tonight. You mentioned the size and strength and power of Southside, and then we can expect the run and gun style of Canberra. It's going to be very interesting to see which team can get it on their terms and take full advantage as we take a look at the starting fives.
And just a slight change from last week, and I believe Kristen Field's going to play with her starting fives the next few weeks just to see who gels and who plays well. But Alex Munton is back in there, and they need her at her 196 centimeters to descend some of those tall timber of Southside.
From a Southside perspective, so much experience. Bring the likes of Russell back alongside Lauren Jackson and Beck Cole, Maddie Rocci, and then the young excitement machine, Potch. It's an interesting group. Diversity, youth and experience, Laurie.
Absolutely. Nadia Potch, Lauren Jackson, they're opposite ends of their careers right now, but it's great to see LJ starting. She's got, as Candy mentioned, some really fond memories here of playing here. She won 4 championships with Canberra, so, you know, it's a good stomping ground for her, and she'd love to get a notch up a win today for Southside and try and aim for another championship.
So 2 teams hunting their first win of the season, meeting in the nation's capital. Good crowd in, as always, in Canberra. Great supporters of the Caps and the WNBL in general. The Caps hosting the Flyers on ESPN's WNBL Wednesday, thanks to Ford, Aussie Hoops. Jade Melbourne, Alex Sharp, co-captains for the Caps this season. So it's going to be Russell for the opening tip against Bunton. First possession, Potch. So Maddie Rocci to set things up from the point. Russell Cole, there's the inside ball for Jackson, who leaves it for Potch. Drives, rattles around, and there's the first rebound of the night for Alex Sharp. There's the quick movement, try and get that open option. Munga. Off the iron and out.
Well, we can see that Potch did a good job of blocking out her player just to not let them get started on those offensive rebounds straight away.
So Canberra will try to use their speed, bring the ball down on offense quickly before Southside can get set. And conversely, the Flyers will be wanting to slow the game down, force Canberra into the half court. Maddie Rocci comes up with the opening points.
That's the thing, when you have so many great players out there, the attention on LJ coming up to set that screen is, because she can pick and pop, just part of the ways for Maddie Rocci to get herself all the way to the basket.
Bunton. He's Fowler. Exciting prospect out of college. Jade Melbourne gets to the stripe, steps back. Sharp scraps for it. Last touch. Refs will confer, call it a jump ball. Possession arrow, Canberra. Here's another look.
Well, I like the fact if it couldn't have a definitive answer, call that jump ball then.
Sharp. Nice link with Fowler and one. And the Canberra crowd rise. Alex Fowler, the 22-year-old, originally out of Townsville, played 6 games with the Fire back in 2018, and then a fantastic college career at Portland over the last 5 years. She was their Student Athlete of the Year this season, their all-time Division I scorer. And she's slotted in really neatly.
She was very impressive in Game 1 against Adelaide with her 19 points at 73%. She's a gun right now.
Rocci. Out to Potch. Cole versus Munga. Nice step from Beck. Creates a bit of space, but can't finish. Still alive here for Southside. Jackson puts the screen on Melbourne, who fights through it, keeps the pressure on Maddie, and wins the battle off. And it remains a Canberra ball. Good scrap there from Jade Melbourne.
Well, that's one thing we know about the Capitals, is that they are always going to scrap right to the end of the game, right throughout the game.
Clock reset to 8:12.
We can see Maddie Rocci up full court.
And now Russell gets involved as well to put the pressure on Melbourne. Southside pressing early. Again to try and take Canberra out of their run and gun, free-flowing style. But Melbourne and Fowler work it well. Can they get the breakdown? They have. Open in the corner, Munga. Well, that would have been sweet for Canberra. They worked that beautifully. Sharp to Melbourne. Takes on Rocci. What a great battle that's going to be. And Jade wins that chapter. Early lead here for the Caps. Cole to Rocci to Russell. Back to Maddie. Russell against Bunton. Lovely finish. Nice touch from Mercedes.
Really nice touch.
Good scrap there from Maddie Rocci. She wins it back, forces the turnover, gets the high five from Cheryl.
Absolutely. And Maddie Rocci, she's known for that. She's going to be up and in. She's going to play full court defense. She's going to try and get her hands in there.
Two players who throw everything into every play. Rocci and Melbourne. It's going to be fun to watch tonight. Cole. There is Rocci. Foul on the Caps. It'll remain a Southside ball. Here's another look. Hold there on Jackson. Rocci the inbound. Jackson through Russell to Cole. Now Rocci. Out to Potch. And she drains it.
Nice little curl cut by Maddie Rocci. A little bit of indecision on whether she was going to shoot it or not, but was able to find her teammate in Potch just ready to shoot it.
Melbourne draws the foul. And Melbourne versus Rocci worth the price of admission alone tonight.
Yeah.
They are going to be fantastic to watch all evening. They'll give each other nothing all night. Every play will be a scrap. Jade Melbourne to the line, 78% free throw shooter in her career. The young skipper at just 21 years of age. Have a feature on Jade at halftime. One of the rising stars of Australian basketball. Incredible career trajectory over the last 5 years. And she makes them both.
The thing I like about Jade Melbourne is she's pretty calm, cool, and collected, isn't she? Other than having a big smile on her face most of the time, she's
the smiling assassin.
It's really very true.
Rocci hits the floor, off the ball. Foul, I think, on Fowler. Rocci to Jackson. Russell to Cole. LJ was open, just couldn't quite connect. They worked it well, but pass astray.
Well, I think LJ cut off that low post screen, not really realizing how open she was, and had she cut to score, Beck would have found her, Beck Cole would have found her.
Melbourne wants to put the Jets on. Rocci covers. Jade wheels back inside, then wants to use the support, does it well to Munga.
Great off-ball movement by Munger on that penetration, coming to the basket. When that defender was drawn, she was ready.
Cole versus Munga, and replies at the other end to tie it up once again. Caps will be more than happy with speed on the game. That's what they're looking for. Melbourne, Sharp sets up from the top of the arc. Nice board from Munga to keep it alive. Back out to Melbourne. Jade wanted to feed it through to Fowler. Couldn't get it through the traffic. Koch to Russell to Cole. Jackson against Fowler. Puts the vet move on. Koch keeps it alive. Rochi and Melbourne. Now Fowler has the defensive job. Cole versus Munga. On the move, Bet Cole. Can't finish. Bunton tidies up.
Well, there was a massive mismatch with LJ and Melbourne that was missed out there.
Strong screen from Fowler on Koch, who saw.
I love the endeavor that we're seeing from Canberra right now. They're going hard. They're not taking a backward step at all to this highly fancied Southside team.
Lead it by 2. With just over 5 to play. Rochi gives Southside the lead once again. Good start from Maddie Rochi. She's up to 5 points. Melbourne has 4. And the ball. And the feed through to Bunton, who's open. Points flowing freely at both ends right now. Russell the screen. Melbourne fights through it. Poch against Sharp. Alex sticks to the task. Poch the spin. Can't finish. Russell battling underneath the hoop. Does it well.
Great second effort by Russell. She was really almost a little bit too far under the basket, but that's such that her experience, she was able to wheel her body around, get the and one, and now she's at the line.
Fantastic news. The WNBL app has gone live. Don't miss a minute of the action. Live scores, highlights, player and team info, everything in the one place. So easy to find. Download it wherever you get your apps today. The WNBL app, free to a good home. Flies by 1. Russell at the line.
In game 1, the Flyers shot 80% from the free throw line, so they're not a team you want to foul too often.
Whistle off the ball. Maybe it's a shot clock, is it? Yep, have to reset the clock. There's Monica Okoya. Japanese national, so impressive at the World Cup last year.
Such an elite three-point shooter.
Just so physical, isn't she? And just can shoot from anywhere. And the sort of player who makes those big dagger plays at key moments, as Bunton is found by Melbourne for the finish.
That's just another classic assist we see from Melbourne. She had 11 in the game against Adelaide. Just
lovely.
Great vision.
Alani Mitchell into the game. Returning for her 3rd stint with the Flyers / Danny Nong organisation. Championship winner in 2020 in the hub season. Russell to Poch, and here is Mitchell. Over the top to Ernst, who's checked in. Working on Okoya. Bunton gets the board and hands it off. Melbourne hits the floor hard. Cole to Dickey, who's into the game. Jasmine, nice first touch.
That was a good push by the Southside Flyers. They've been content to sort of slow it down, but they needed to push like that. Here they go again.
Sharp managed to find a path but couldn't finish. Now Mitchell with some speed to Dickey. Ernst, who's had a super pre-season. Mitchell from long range.
Doesn't she have an impact when she steps on the floor? First, it was a push and hitting it to her open teammate. Secondly, now coming down and nailing that 3.
A couple of players in off the bench have totally changed the tempo of the game, and suddenly the Flyers are up by 5. Melbourne to the corner. Here's Okoya. And a whistle. Cole with her foot on the sideline. On the baseline, rather. So just like that, the Flyers skip out to a 5-point lead. And Kristen Veal makes a couple of changes now. Jada Clark into the contest as Jade Melbourne takes a seat. And we'll take a timeout. This timeout brought to you by CTM Sport, the experts in travel management for sport teams. Leave the logistics to their specialists and you can concentrate on your game as part of the renowned CTM group. Visit ctmsport.com.au today. Let's listen in to Kristen Veal.
Continue to force me shots. Sub coming. Yep, I know you are. Yep. Force me shots. Okay, down here, out of bounds. Jada. Where are we? Monica. Bunce. Sharpie. Monica. Bunce. Sharpie. Gemma. Yep. Gemma. Around to here. Yep. Sharpie. Don't cut on this. Come straight to there. Yep. Bunce, I want you to flash on that. If she's open, give it to her. If not, Mon, run straight into the here and you're ghosting. Yep. Screen, ghost, Sharpie. Yep. Here we go.
Laurie, what have you made of the opening 7 minutes?
Or be available.
Well, really, there's been a lot of contributors, so nobody stood out as far as they've, I think the top scorer is 5 points. It's a real grind right now, basket for basket. The Flyers have this little bit of lead on the back of just making some subs and having some different personnel out there.
Massive change, wasn't it? As soon as Mitchell and Dickey both came into the game.
Great defense by the Flyers, calling that 5-second violation.
So Mitchell will have it. Matched up with Clark. Steps around now, feeds Russell. Mercedes tries to work on Bunton and does. Such beautiful touch.
Such great touch underneath. I think they can look a lot more at that with getting Mercedes involved in a pick and roll and have her rolling hard to the basket.
Offensive foul. So a good couple of minutes here for the Flyers, who had just seized the initiative. Mercedes Russell calling for a foul. So margin sits now at 7. We're inside 3 minutes in the opening term. Mercedes Russell up to 7 points. 5 for Maddie Rocci. Russell causing some problems on the inside.
Okoye may give out some height, but as you mentioned, she is strong out there. Mercedes Russell had nowhere to go, and it was the right idea to come and double. It's just you got to keep your hands out and you can't foul.
So Mercedes Russell making a great start. I mentioned one season with the Flyers back in 2019, 6 years for Seattle in WNBA, 162 games, so a veteran at 28 years of age can just step in and have an immediate impact. Real pro. She's certainly having an impact in this opening term. Laurie mentioned at the start of the night her size could be a problem for Canberra if she gets up and going. She's up to 8 points now and really having an influence.
Well, and it's just the way she, she just needs to make position, and then she's a great finisher inside. So, really tough for Alex Bunton, who's their tallest player, to have any influence on that.
McCoy, a lovely feed through. Shakira Riley's finish won't drop. Mitchell to Ernst. Cole back to Leilani. Screen from Russell on Clark. Mercedes gets it back at the stripe. Now wants to work on Okoye. There's that battle Laurie's talking about. Monica does enough, but a nice finish from Jasmine Dickey.
That was a great battle out there. I liked the fact that Russell kept with it. She kept going. She got her eyes up. She missed it, but there's Dickey. What a great putback that was.
Didn't give up on the play at all. Jasmine Dickey. 23-year-old, originally from Baltimore, 5 years at college at Delaware. A couple of seasons now with the Dallas Wings. Was cut in June, went and played in New Zealand leading in to this season. Melbourne. Unfortunate for Clark, because she saw she had an open player. In the process of trying to get that to her, straight into Cole. What did you make of it, Laurie?
Oh, I thought it was a great call. Beck Cole had her feet set. She anticipated that, where she was going, took it straight in the chest. She'll be sore tomorrow.
Margin out to 10. Inside 2 minutes. And Canberra start to stabilise the situation a little bit here. That'll help. Offensive foul on the Flyers. Canberra ball. Shakira Riley, 24-year-old, originally out of Maitland in New South Wales. Back playing NBL 1 for Maitland this season. Spent a year at the Caps back in 2019. Melbourne against Dickey. Koya, Clark, the sell, the shot and the finish.
That was good. They caught the Flyers on some sort of rotation, and it was a really good, just a little pass fake shot, whack.
They needed that. Back to 8 points. Russell, look at the size advantage on Okoya. Monica will keep battling underneath. Mercedes will fancy her chances. Goes right, goes left, loses her footing, puts the shot up. Well done, Okoya. Did enough. Harassed without fouling. Clark. Wide open, Riley. Gets it.
That's what they need. They need that spark. There's nothing like a transition three to get the team on the bench up and over and to get the crowd going.
Just like that, they've halved the margin. It's back to 5 points. Russell to Dickey. It's been a good minute here for Canberra. Exactly what they needed. Clark now pushes. Gemma Potter. Tough against Riley, against Russell rather. Nowhere to go there, so tries to feed it through. Coming in hot was Riley, couldn't hang on.
Maddie Rachi just slowing it down a little bit.
8-second differential between shot and game clock. Rachi steps around Riley, draws a crowd, dishes off to Russell. Back to Maddie. Shot clock down to 4, feeds it inside. Ernst,
Great.
Russell, beautiful ball movement.
Great movement, great passing between the two big towers in Ernst and Russell.
Melbourne for the final shot of the term. Drives, and it rolls around and won't drop. So Southside with a 7-point lead at the opening change. Entertaining game. Changes of tempo aplenty. It's the Flyers 27, Caps 20.
Maybe looking at a week on the side if we want to change something.
Sharpie, Gemma.
Up to you, but just weak on
Wicket.
the side.
Yep. Yep. All right, so you've got Mercedes, you take Lauren. So now you're in switching. Again, if it's a non-action, stay in drops, through, gap through, and then switch when it starts to get deliberate, okay? Guys, really good. Yep. Down there, it's just the foul discipline. Okay, I know sometimes we're caught out of position, but resist the urge to foul. Okay, yes, they're going to get the 2 points, but they're not getting the 3 points, right? And the psychology that goes with the M1. Okay, so keep the fouls. That's the only thing down there, right? They're going to score points, right? But we could have kept them closer to 20 because of that. All right. On the side with Mercedes, go a weak on the side. So we're coming off here. Bunce is going to shadow it. We connect and direct. Make sure we have this. Show, right? You can show a little bit longer because it's Mercedes, and then you'll drop back into here. So it's a little bit more help. If it's a blow by, then we rotate, but it shouldn't be a blow by. So weak with Russell on the side. So just you, okay? If it happens to be Mon on Russell, she's just in drops. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, she'll be there anyway. Okay. Down here, let's go fist switch. Fist switch. Yep. So first play. Sue, Jade. Yep. Come up into here. Ghost that. Get through. Yep. Mon, whichever way you want to screen it. Jade down the line. Mon pops to here. If Jade doesn't have it, pops to here. Yep. Sharpie's coming out the corner. If you don't have that shot, dribble handoff.
Quarter time in the nation's capital. It's the Flyers up by 7. They had a little kick in the middle of that term, Laurie Chiswick. A couple of bench changes, put on 5 in a hurry, blew that out to a 10-point lead, but it was a good response late from the Caps.
Well, it was a little bit of a momentum swing. I think Mercedes Russell's with 8 points. She was the instigator of that increase, but also the push of the ball when Leilani Mitchell came on. But good fight back by the Capitals. 7 points is still very gettable.
Candy Hertz was in the Southside huddle. We'll come back to Candy shortly. start the second term. Both these teams looking for their first win of the season. Mercedes Russell with 10 points leads the game. 5 for Maddie Rocci, 4 for Jade Melbourne and Alex Bunton. High scorers for Canberra in that opening term. Leilani Mitchell receives. 1-on-1 with Clark. Dickey. This is Alex Sharp. Here's Russell. Takes the long two and makes the long two.
Well, Alex Bunton was giving her that shot. She was back down low, fronting Jackson with Okaya behind her. So good decision to take that shot.
Makes Mercedes Russell pretty hard to defend. She can score from just about anywhere. Here's Okoya at the other end. Mitchell to Rocci. Her battle with Melbourne in the opening term was an engaging one. Back to Leilani and now Jackson. Dickey fights for it under the hoop. Spills for Jade Melbourne. Okoya, feet set. Can't quite find her range just yet. Mitchell down the sideline to Dickey once again. Russell meets with Mitchell, gets it back. Over the top, Russell to Jackson. How many times have we seen that move over the years? She draws the foul.
Well, I figure it's muscle memory when she gets the ball down low there and just turns and shoots it. She was fouled there, but that's just LJ. And, you know, 95% of the time she's going to nail that shot.
LJ and Kayla George have both made a living out of that shot, haven't they?
Yes. Although Kayla George always looks like she's going to fake the pass and then she takes the shot.
And this is the first, as we mentioned, back home in Canberra. 4-time MVP, 4-time grand final MVP.
So good to see her healthy and fit, LJ. She, you know, a couple of articles during the week says that she's never felt better than she does right now, which is unbelievably fantastic.
Margin to 10 again. Sharp, tough shot, draws the foul.
That's one thing I like about Alex Sharp. She doesn't take a backward step. She went in hard. I mean, Mercedes Russell is an unbelievable shot blocker, as we can see there. She didn't get it, but Alex Sharp just took it right at her, did the right thing.
.74% free throw shooter, Alex Sharp. Was up to 83% last season. Had a great year in Perth.
I think it's nice that she's, you know, it's an interesting decision to move from Perth, although she is Victorian, so it's not that far, but to Canberra. But I think she's got much more of a leadership role here. You know, she was under some pretty, you know, experienced players over the last couple of seasons at Perth, so I think this is really good for her development.
So she missed the second. They reset because there was a break, and she missed it again. So margin stays at 9. Rocci against Melbourne. Maddie finds a way through and gets the finish. Maddie Rocci up to 7 points. 7 for Rocci, 4 for Melbourne. Jade with the ball now. Pressure comes from Dickey. Bunton. Back to Melbourne. Dickey again with the defensive job. Nice find, nice finish, Alex Sharp. Good effort from Clark, knocks it away from Mitchell. It'll remain a Southside ball. Margin sits at 8.
A lot of poise shown there by Jade Melbourne. The clock was ticking down just to get her feet in the paint and find the set Alex Sharp on the perimeter.
Cole, loop up's the call. Rocci. Does it well.
Nice hesitation, dribble by Maddie Rocci. During the hesitation, she was looking to see who to pass it to.
Sharp keeps it alive. Munga, Okoya, finds her range.
That's what she's known for, that distance. Nice little smile on her face.
And an important basket. Back to 7 once again. Caps just hanging around and keeping in touch.
Caps are in a zone right now. Nice stop.
And Melbourne couldn't quite control it.
Yeah. I like the fact that they're changing up their defenses. I think that's a good look. The worst thing that could happen is for Southside to get into a rhythm, feel really comfortable in getting the ball through hands. So be disruptive, change up your defense.
So Kristen Veal saying happy to have free-flowing offense, but wants to lock down in a much more orthodox defense. They'll add layers to that as the season comes along. But for now, let's just keep it simple. Shot from Jackson misses. And they can build and explode off that. That's the plan. Nicely done. Sharp works her way through, can't finish. Bunton trails it in. She can't finish either. Third attempt, make it a fourth. Working on Russell, draws the foul.
And don't the bench and the fans love it. Great, great second effort by Bunton here, going after her own rebound, going up against, again, a great shot blocker. That's perseverance.
Alex Bunton, 2 for 2 from the line last week. 62% across her career. Interesting comments from Kristen Veal on Alex during the week, saying she actually wants her to be a little bit more demanding, a bit more selfish. So many centres are, give it to me and get out of the way, but Alex is so selfless. Kristen saying, hey, listen, demand it more. Demand it, the rock from your teammates a little bit more, and you do what you do. She'll take a seat. Caps back to 5. Largely off the back of some great work from Alex Bunton. Cole to Ernst. Potch. Rocci inside. Ernst working on Fowler. Jackson does well. Keeps it alive. Cole swings it. Ernst. Rocci. Oh, banks it off the glass.
Wow. I think they got out of jail there. The clock was ticking down. The Canberra's doing a good job. See if we can get this another 3. Not this time. That zone is certainly slowing down the output, the offensive output from the Flyers, except if you bank it off the backboard.
Hard to draw up too many defensive schemes for that, Laurie, is it? Frustrating for coaches. You do everything right, you force him into a long-range shot, and then it drops. Margin at 8, heading towards the 6-minute mark of the second term. Clark knocked it away from Potch. Ends up in the hands of Cole.
Back to man-to-man.
Ernst. Jackson over the top, taps it down, keeps it alive for Nadio. Jackson again keeps it alive. Third effort. Well done, Lauren Jackson. Good scrap from the GOAT. Clark. Fowler's open. Potch hits the floor alongside Nicole Munga.
I was so impressed with Fowler last week. I hadn't seen a lot of her play, and I thought she was just in a lot of the action, both ends of the court. As we said before, 19.6 rebounds, but she just always seemed to be featuring in some of the great plays, both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, Kristen feels really big on her, Laurie. Strength, mobility, versatile, good inside game. She's open to trying different things for the team. Really smart, good body use, gets open, knows when to roll. Interestingly, says she just plays at a slower tempo, which suits us. That's the way she sees the game. She slows it down, which is a nice complement to the speed of the rest of the team. Cole. Koya. Munga. She's got Fowler inside. Stops, props. Doesn't drop. Rocci to Ernst. Maddie to Cole. She's not quite on the same page.
Just a little bit of miscommunication.
Halfway through the second term, it's the Flyers by 11. So 9 points to the Caps this term, 13 for the Flyers. What have you made of the opening 5 minutes of the second quarter, Laurie?
Well, again, I thought the Flyers came out really strong, and I thought they had a focus of getting the ball inside to either Jackson or Russell. And so they got that little bit of a margin, but to the Capitals' credit, they came back, they fought back, they got some good looks themselves, a couple of threes, but it's hard to hold a good team down. And now we see that 11-point game with the 5-minute mark, so they just have to keep chipping away. They have to do what they're doing. They have to, you know, I like the fact that they mixed it up, a little bit of zone, a little bit of man, and I think to keep them out of their rhythm, they have to keep throwing those things at the Southside Flyers.
12 points for Russell, 12 for Rochi. Jasmine Dickey, the next best, with 4 for the Flyers. So 2 strong scorers. It's been more by committee for the Caps, led by Sharp and Bunton with 6 apiece. So an 11-point game, second round WNBL action. Great to have you with us on your home of hoops, ESPN, for WNBL Wednesday, each and every Wednesday night.
Thanks, buddy.
These two teams looking for their first win of the season. Candy Hertz was in the Caps huddle.
Yeah, listening into Coach Veal, she just was instilling so much confidence in her team. She literally said, I'm backing you guys with all the calls you make, but you do need to, as fatigue sets in, pick your shots a little bit better, but either way, I back you.
It's Candy, very much a philosophy that Kristen's wanting to build in this group, empowering players to make their own calls. Munga almost open there, got the feed, then returned to favour for Fowler.
What a great job of off-the-ball movements. It was just constant, and the Flyers just lost their players there. Great basket by Canberra.
Rochi working on Clark. Now Okoye steps across. Ernst long-range shot. Carly's known for that.
She certainly is, amongst many other things.
In her 7-club career, Carly Ernst. Nice work from Rochi. Steals it away from Clark. Margin sits at 12. Important 4 minutes here for Canberra. They've managed to hang around in this first half. They continue to scrap here as the Flyers look to set up a handy lead. Ernst off the front iron. And away comes Munga. Skips around the arc, off to Clark. Looking for an option. Fowler. Back to Jada Clark. Shot clock down to 5. Somehow the seas just parted for Jada Clark.
Good patience, good poise. She didn't panic at all. We can see number 12, Clara Wisher, on the court now for her first minutes.
Cole to Rochi. Shot clock to 6. Back to Beck. They're going to have to get the shot up. Potch. They do not. Communication breakdown there for the Flyers.
Absolutely. That you've got to have shot clock recognition. It's just, you know, the ball was just passed one too many times there. Somebody's got to take it on. As that shot clock's ticking down, you've got to get your feet in the paint. Having said that, great defense by Canberra to force that.
Melbourne with 4 points. Potter and Fowler. Thought about the give back to Potter, who cut to the basket. Nice move from Munga. Won't quite finish. Fowler scrapping under the hoop. Does well and finishes. Impressive Alex Fowler.
That's some of those things you were talking about, Jason, with Alex Fowler. She's just got the strength out there.
Cole, expansive pass. Mitchell. Ball movement back from Ernst to Cole. Beck, the little floater. Not this time. 2.5 to play in the opening half. Fowler with a little screen on Rochi. Melbourne open. Fowler again comes up with the board. Kicks it back out. Wide open to Cole Munga, and she drains it.
That's exactly, I was expecting a whistle there for a timeout. That's just not good enough for the Flyers for those offensive rebounds, and then to be able to kick it out to a wide open Munger. Wow.
This timeout brought to you by Cygnett, Australian-owned, Australian-designed, powering the WNBL with its extensive range of digital accessories, power banks, charging cables, walk chargers, so much more. Cygnett powering up the WNBL. Visit cygnett.com. Well, let's go inside the Flyers timeout. Here's Cheryl.
In and out here. Let's go horns out next play. If they're in a zone, we'll just go normal horns. Okay, so horns out. Kohler, you're the one that's coming shoot and get through, then the next person's thumbs out. Sorry. Thumbs out or horn.
You're the 4. Maybe on horns, you be the 4. Because they're coming out to trap. So you roll, and Cole, you pop out, you probably have a shot. Okay. Hey, stay on the team. I'm starting here. You go to the corner. Okay. On normal horn.
Let's lock it back down. Come on, girls. Southside player. Not south.
Laurie, your thoughts?
Well, I think that, you know, it's nice to hear a player like Leilani Mitchell, who's so experienced, to just, they know what's going on out in the court, and obviously the coaches do too, but to just be able to say, you know, why don't you swing into the 4, because they're switching, then this will give this, you know, I like that. I like those input from the players. As long as it's not over the top and the coaches get a good say, which Cheryl does, great job.
Collaborative effort. Leilani and Cheryl obviously worked together before in that championship season. Rochi. Shot waved away. What have you made of the Maddie Rochi-Jade Melbourne battle? Melbourne 4 points. Rochi's up to 12 now, won 5 of 7 shooting.
Well, it's interesting because they've switched. Sometimes they're not defending each other, but I like Maddie Rochi's mindset. She's looking to score out there, and you know, right now she's being successful with that. 12 points, as you said.
Melbourne and Dickey, the matchup at the moment. Now Jade comes across to Rochi. Dickey left alone at the stripe.
And really, Canberra are giving Southside that mid-range shot. They're really trying to clog it in inside, double, triple, get in front of the bigs and they're living with that mid-range shot.
Long-range shot from Potter off the glass. Dickey to Mitchell. Down to 135 in the opening half. Leilani from long range. Well done, Bunton. Can't hang on. Southside ball.
That was just the second effort by Nadia Potch to just try and get her fingertips in there and get a deflection, which she did, which then went off Alex Bunton.
Here's another look. There's the effort from
Dickey.
Yep. Russell went to Dickey. Wasn't ready for it, but Cole is ready there to tidy it up. Back to Mercedes. Now to Beck. Steps inside the three-point arc. Shot may have been touched, was it? Deflected?
I would think so. I bet
yes,
Cole doesn't usually shoot such a flat shot.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, just got her fingertips to it.
Gemma Potter coming across indeed. So 4 seconds on the shot clock. What have they got here? Rochi just pops it up. There's Russell open. Shot won't go. This time it's off the Flyers. Capitals ball. Lively to Melbourne. Rochi the defensive task on this occasion. Bunton now comes up to provide the screen. Jade wants to take Russell on, then kicks it out. Sharp, she step on the sideline.
I think she did on that catch and putting it to the floor. Her back foot just touched that sideline.
Dickey to Rochi. Now he wants to push down the floor. Frustrated Jade Melbourne. Frustrated Canberra crowd. Good crowd in on a Wednesday night. Great to have you with us. WNBL Wednesdays here every week on your home of hoops ESPN. Mitchell, Dickey, Cole. Beautiful.
Nice balance on that shot, Beck Cole.
9-point game. 35 seconds remaining in the half. Tough finish there for Melbourne. Nice work, Bunton. Crashes the boards. Dickey comes over the top and Alex finishes.
Again, it's that second and third opportunity by Alex Bunton, going up strongly, getting her own miss, coming back down with it and finishing.
3-second differential between shot and game clock. So the Flyers happy to just pull out, chew through the time and leave Canberra with none. Russell, they'll run it all the way down. She lost the handle. Has she got time to turn, spin and score? It counts. Well, we'll have to see. The refs are going to come through and confer here. It looked like one said waved away and the other counted it. So it's gone up on the scoreboard.
Well, I feel like it should have counted because as the shot went up and it hit the ring, it would have been a reset. So the shot clock violation shouldn't have counted at all. And then she got that rebound, and I didn't see the red light go on the back of the backboard like we usually do.
So at half-time, it's a 9-point margin. Southside 49, Caps 40, as we head to Candy.
Mercedes Russell, welcome back. We're so thrilled to see you back once again with the Flyers. What a tough first half for both teams. Of course, you were able to get that pull out to quite a good lead, I guess, and then they kept coming back. How do you limit them this next half?
We just got to keep up the pressure defensively. They're really attacking us in transition and on the offensive boards as well. So we just got to pick up our intensity and keep playing our game.
Some very interesting matchups there as well. Which ones are you enjoying the most?
I think all of them. You know, they have a great team, great size, shooters. Jade Melbourne obviously running the point and some bigs inside. And I think on our side as well, we have point guards that can shoot, get to the rim, and we have dominant bigs as well.
Good luck for the next half, Mercedes. Thanks so much.
Mercedes Russell leads the game with 14 points. Rochi's got 12 for the Flyers, while Alex Bunton leads the way for the Caps with 8 points. It is half-time in Canberra. It's the Flyers leading it by 9 points. Coming up, our WNBL Wednesday half-time show, thanks to Ford Aussie Hoops. And as we head to the break, here's our top 5 plays from the opening round. 21 years of age, when most kids her age are still in college over there in the States, but she appeared in 29 games and averaged 11 minutes a game. So it wasn't like she was just sitting on the bench and getting a minute or two in junk time. What a wonderful experience for her. How have you seen her career trajectory and the evolution of her game?
Oh my goodness, I think that was just a wonderful opportunity for her. And as we know, Jade Melbourne, she just grasped it and she'd be like a sponge out there. You know, yes, she did play. She might have been sitting on the bench a lot, but she is training with quality players day in and day out. And so then for her to bring it back to the WNBL, to her Canberra Capitals team, and like you said at the very beginning, 21 years old, and she is the leader of that team. So she just has so much upside. And I love it when I hear a player say they love their basketball and they're just passionate about it.
5 years ago, she was a 16-year-old development player at the Boomers, just a kid sitting on the end of the bench, soaking everything up. 5 years later, look how far she's come. Can't imagine where she's going to be in another 5 years. Half-time here at Canberra. It's a 9-point lead to the Flyers on the back of, well, they made a kick away in the midway through the opening term, and since then they've been able to hold the margin at 5 to 10 points for most of it.
Yeah, it's just been an interesting game. You know, I have to give full credit to Canberra. They, you know, at some stage it was sort of looking like it might blow out, you know, 9, 10, 11-point margin, and they've just hung around enough to make this a real ball game. And it's through their poise, their persistence. Alex Bunton, a couple of times, she had 3 opportunities before she finally finished her shot off, but she kept with it. She kept going at it. And so Southside, certainly this game is not anything close to being over.
Take a look at the overall numbers. Second chance points are 14 apiece. Points in the paint are 20 apiece. Caps are actually leading the rebound count, which you wouldn't have expected at the start of the night. The real only difference, Laurie, is the shooting percentage, 47 to 38.
Well, I would have said, you know, rebounding, that the Flyers should dominate in that. They should not give them any second chance. We talked about they have to block out. They have to be more of a concerted effort with that. And again, to the Caps' credit, they are going hard after the boards and making life difficult. To me, that's a massive stat in this game.
And interestingly, 0 fast break points in the entire game so far. Not one team has scored off a fast break as yet. The most dominant player on court in the first half was Mercedes Russell. 14 points on 6 of 9 shooting with 3 rebounds. She's just slotted straight back into this Flyers lineup.
Well, and I thought particularly in that second quarter, there was a focus to get her the ball, to get her where she wanted. So she did her work early. I mean, they're not letting her do anything out there, you know, without working hard for it. So she is doing that. She's being a presence in there at both ends of the court. We know what a great shot blocker she is and how she can change her shots, but it's at the offensive end where she's been a real impact so far this game.
Half-time WNBL Wednesday. It is the Flyers leading by 9 points. Third quarter action from the nation's capital next.
Yes, how does that sound as I'm commentating? Going, yes, what a great shot that was.
Hi everyone, I'm Beck.
I'm Maddie.
And we're here with Lockie and Frankie from Forward Aussie Hoops. All right, are you ready?
First.
So you have to do what I say. Round out heads. Round out heads.
Ready?
Go. Round out bellies. Round out ankles.
That's impossible.
Go, 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 shoot it. Gotta get up.
But show me your best trick.
Yeah, show us.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. Here we go, Lockie.
Do we all have a shot at that?
Yep. Ooh, nice.
Oh.
Dunk it. All right, you got my shoulders. Ready?
Oh.
Let go. Say, Frankie, get out of here. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, are we ready?
We're going to do 3
Wait.
push-ups. Go. 1, 2, 3. Thanks to Forward Aussie Hoops, great supporters of WNBL Wednesdays on ESPN. If you've got youngsters aged 5 to 10, then log on and register. They'll be glad you did at aussiehoops.basketball. 9-point game in Canberra. It's the Flyers over the Caps, 49-40. Candy Hurts caught up with both coaches, Candy.
Yeah, I did listen in on both coaches. Cheryl, first up, had a really simple message. She just said she's not happy with how many O-boards they've had, just to keep them off the boards. That's it. She looked at me and said, simple as that. So if that's all it takes, that's all it takes. Listening in to Canberra coach Kristen Veal, she said, listen, it's basically the motto of them for this season. We're not the same, so we can't do the same. The key will be to be unpredictable if they can. She also said rebounds are important. So it seems to be the theme tonight. Thanks, Candy. Yes, it was all about rebounding for Cheryl Chambers coming into the game. And at the moment, it's +6 in favour of Canberra. And we've talked about Kristen Veal and her desire to be unpredictable tonight and play with some flow and creativity. What have you made of that, Laurie?
Well, I think they've done a pretty good job. I like their movement off the ball. I think both teams are, when it comes to an on-ball screen, both teams seem to be icing it, which means they're sending the player with the ball away from the screen. So it's a bit more difficult to be creative off of that for the guards. Therefore, you need lots of movement off the ball. And I think Canberra in particular is doing a really good job of that. Second half action, two teams fighting for their first win this season after narrow losses in the opening round. It's the Flyers by 9. Good scrap in centre court there from Maddie Rocci. Does really well and wins possession for her team. Had a good first half with 12 points on 5 of 7 shooting. 2 rebounds, 3 assists and a steal. Now she receives from Cole. Working on Munga. Puts up the shot, but it's whisked away by Melbourne. Munga on the move. A bit of pace on the ball early in this third term. Potch now will set it up to Rocci. Russell to Cole. So no fast break points at all in this game yet. Jackson open. Well, there you go. Classic Jackson. Nice use of the pick and roll by Rocci and pick and pop, I should say, by Jackson. Just easy as anything. Money.
Hunton was open for the long-range shot. Elected to pass it off. Gave it off to Melbourne, who slices her way through and gets the drop.
She likes that. She had her eyes up early on the target because there were some bodies to weave through, one of them being LJ.
Melbourne up to 7 points. Rocci to Jackson. It's played 11 minutes now. 12 in the opening round. Cole, Russell, lovely work, back to Beck Cole.
Really nice get it inside to Mercedes Russell. Almost saw a fast break opportunity there, which we haven't seen a lot of these games. Maybe one for Potch here. Great hands, good steal.
Off to Rocci. And Maddie backs it out. Russell to Cole. Jackson up against Fowler. Veteran versus youngster. And Lauren draws the foul. What an amazing opportunity and a dream come true for someone like Alex Fowler, who's 22 years of age. We've grown up knowing about the legend of Lauren Jackson. We've seen her in action at the World Cup and an opportunity to play on Lauren and to be able to say forevermore, yeah, I played against her.
Oh, exactly. Lauren would be trying to get that, LJ would be trying to get that position down low there where we know she loves it. And I'm sure Fowler would just be going, oh my goodness, here it goes again.
This is the first, makes the second. LJ.
I think we have to, you know,
to 5.
Give LJ a little bit of time to, she's come back at an amazing pace over an injury. And she might not be really influential early on, but as long as she's staying healthy and getting more and more minutes on the court, she's going to just get better and better.
Yeah, it's going to be tightly managed by the medicos. They're just going to slowly work and build up her load to have her fit when it matters most. Potch!
Really nice inside-outside game into Jackson, who saw our teammate Potch wide open at that three-point line, and we know that Nadia can shoot that.
So 9 points to 3 to start this third term for the Flyers, and suddenly they're out to a game-high 15-point lead.
Gee, that happened in the blink of an eye, didn't it, Jason?
Time for Canberra to lock down right now and to stabilise things. Well done, Beck Cole just weaves her way through traffic.
There was a switch there, and Munger was waiting for Beck to continue on with the flow of the handoff, and she just split the defense. Really smart play by Beck Cole.
Sharp drew a crowd. Melbourne. So margin sits now at 17. It's been a really impressive start to this third term from Southside, who've just come out and landed some quick-fire blows. And the 9-point halftime lead is blown out to 17 in no time at all. So Canberra, sharp. They need a bucket, and Alex delivers.
Always good to when you execute an out-of-bounds play. And Alex Sharp needed to come off of that with a scorer's mentality. And that's exactly what she did.
Cole versus Munger. Works on her. Tough shot. Away comes Sharp. Well done, Cole. Quick hands. Okoye in there as well. Keeps it alive. Sharp to Melbourne. Jade hits the accelerator but loses the handle. Okoye open. Will take that most times. It's short. Whistle goes. Beck Cole down in back play.
Oh, she did not come up after that hit.
Catch her breath. Here's another look. Up against Okoye. We've spoken about just how solid Monica is. So strong in the core. Hopefully just knock the wind out of Beck Cole and nothing more than that. But we've seen, you think back to Steph Talbot's injury at the World Cup last year, Laurie, which looked so innocuous at the time. Similar sort of a thing, 2 players just diving for a ball. And how serious it ended up for Steph. So they'll take their time here and do a proper assessment on Beck. Very similar, in fact, when you look at the Steph Talbot one, wasn't it?
Or even the Beck Allen incident at the Worlds where they collided.
Sorry,
and
then Beck Allen, not Steph Talbot. You're talking about Beck.
Yeah, with the ribs, exactly.
Yep.
So
she's obviously in some pain. She's tough as nails, Beck Cole.
She was just, it was great to watch her the last game. I know they didn't win, but 25 points. And she was just such a leader out there. And I spoke to her before that game, and she just said that my love for basketball is back. I'm enjoying being out here. I'm loving my teammates.
Let's head to Candy courtside.
Like you guys just said, Beck is one of the toughest players I know, and she doesn't ever get emotional, and she looked like she took quite a hit then and got a bit emotional with it as well. She's not looking like she's in a good state. I can't see her coming back anytime soon, but I will keep you guys updated.
So Beck just receiving some assessment courtside. Obviously hanging on to that lower back on the right-hand side, which is where the collision occurred with Monica Okoye. So a break in play here. Beck will head to the rooms for further assessment.
Well, we certainly hope it's nothing more than the wind knocked out, and that she may not return this game, but that she'll be fine for the rest of round 2.
So can Canberra use that stoppage to just help stabilise things after the Flyers flew out of the blocks in the third term? Jackson inside, flips it out. Rocci puts it on the floor, goes herself and finishes. And then she pulls up sore. Maddie Rocci limps down the court. Melbourne, slick through to Sharp, gathers it in and finishes. Let's have a look at Maddie this time. Moving a little better, but still a little sore.
A little bit lumbering.
Mitchell, Jackson. Tough shot for Lauren, won't go. Sharp now to Melbourne. A look away feed inside to Bunton. Foul on Leilani Mitchell.
Good active hands by Leilani in there, though, almost getting a steal, trying to knock it out of her hands.
Here's the look away from Jade. So very impressive start to the third term from the Flyers. They've added 13 points to 7. Canberra now looking to eat into this 15-point deficit. Melbourne against Potch, two of Australia's most exciting young talents. Okoye versus Russell. Monica the step back at short. Russell to Rocci, who looks to be moving okay now. Mitchell, back to Maddie. Takes some contact from Sharp and draws a foul.
Interesting that Southside have such a deep bench, Jace, that, you know, we see Beck Cole come off, and I'm not sure if it was Leilani that replaced her, but they've just got, they don't miss a beat when they make a sub.
Jackson to Mitchell, back to Jackson. Works on Okoye. Munga to Melbourne. The Canberra look to up the speed of their offense in the second half. Southside done a really good job at getting back and preventing them getting out on the break too often. The shot from Bunton doesn't go. Now Rocci looking for some support. Sharp with a defensive job. Russell, we've seen her from mid-range with some success, not that time.
It's a bit of a grind right now. Neither team are finding the bottom of the basket.
Melbourne, gonna feed it through to Bunton. Potch. Nadia just looks a little perplexed by the call. Here's another look. Case in point there with those subs. Off comes Potch and Jackson, on comes Ernst and Dickey.
Yeah.
Gemma Potter back into the game for Canberra.
So now you look at Southside, and they've got 3 small guards. They should be able to run and push the ball.
Okoye has a quiet fallen tonight for Monica. She's on 1 from 8 from the floor.
Very experienced coach in Cheryl Chambers. Great to see her out there, the mastermind of this mighty Southside Flyers.
6th all-time for games coached in the WNBL. Game number 330 tonight. Mitchell and Leilani drills it from long range.
That's exactly what she did when she came on the floor in the first quarter. She had an influence straight away on the game.
It's 18 points all of a sudden. Jade Melbourne responds. Leilani trying to respond at the other end, off hands and out. Off Alex Bunton last, so it'll be a Southside ball.
It's great basketball when one team scores a 3, and as we see here, Jade Melbourne just answering, bringing the crowd to life.
She's in the double figures now, 10 for Melbourne, 10 for Sharp, leading the game for Canberra. 14 apiece for Rocci and Russell. Mercedes a chance to add 2 more. Wanted the call for the contact, nothing doing. Marching back to 17. Melbourne draws a crowd. Okoye, the travel. And she pulls up a little sore. Lauren Jackson watches on. Dallas Lockridge there, great to see her back. Clara Wisher on the bench between them.
Great story with Clara Wisher. She's actually a primary school teacher And so her principal, who loves basketball, has given her term 4 and term 1 off to play WNBL. How good is that?
That helps. We're up in the Nuttawad Inspectors junior system. Clara Wisher. Russell. Working on Bunton. And doing it well. Just leans on her opponent, Laurie, creates a bit of space, and then such great touch.
She's so smooth with her movement. She's not rushed. She's not, doesn't get, you know, overly anxious or anything. She just goes about her business in such a calm, cool, and collected way.
So Jade Melbourne really trying to up the tempo in this third term for Canberra. And Kristen Veal said, look, I understand this freestyle offense. It's going to get a bit messy at times. Mistakes are going to be made, and that's okay. What we don't want to worry about, Laurie, is the road to perfection. They don't want to be perfect. If you're shooting for perfection, you'll always come up a bit short, and that's okay.
I think your aim with a young team is that you always want to get better. So,
correct.
So yes, each day on the practice court, but also each game, you want to see improvement, areas where you've identified from a previous game, and you take it into the next game, and you see improvement. That's all you can ask with a young team.
Yep, as Kristen put it, we don't need to be perfect, we just need to be better.
Yeah.
And Leilani throws it away into the crowd. Cheryl Chambers watching on. As I mentioned, 330th game tonight. Having played 261, what a career.
And it's great to see Karen Mitchell on the bench alongside with her. She's sort of an up-and-coming coach, so to speak. She's been in the NBL 1 at Sandringham, and it's nice to see their partnership again from last year.
Shakira Riley off to Okoya. Now Jada Clark. Thought about the inside ball to Bunton. Pressure comes from Mitchell. Has to put up a shot and makes it. Jada Clark with a couple of special moments tonight. 18-year-old from Perth, made an NBL 1 debut at 15 for the Warwick Senators. Been at the Centre of Excellence in Canberra since 2021, having moved there from WA at the age of 15. What a talent. She's shown a couple of glimpses tonight. Jada Clark, one to watch in the future. Decided to stick around and play WNBL rather than go to college.
Back in a zone now.
Rochi. Potter tries to close down Ernst and can't quite get there.
If you're going to play a zone, you've got to know exactly where those shooters are, and Carly Ernst being one of them.
Clark, Okoya. Riley from long range. Good body work there from Rochi. Protected the drop of the ball. Tries to feed it to Ernst. Gets rid of Clark. Might go herself to the corner. Dickey attacks the rack. Denied. Still alive. Ernst to Rochi, and collision there with Clark.
Gosh, bodies are hitting the floor everywhere on every possession.
Desperation and endeavour tonight from both teams. Laurie's been outstanding. Two teams have thrown themselves around. Fly's getting the edge, jumping out early in this third term. A 9-point halftime lead now out to 17.
And that's where it's really hard for a young team. You know, enthusiasm and endeavor can take you so far in a game, but almost, you know, a lot of the time that experience then is eventually going to take over. Experience and size, I might add.
Maddie Rochi now 6 for 7 from the stripe this season. Perfect 5 for 5 last week. Clark, Riley, Bunton, and now Potter. Kicks it out. Here's Okoya again. 1 for 10 now, Monica. Mitchell. Offensive foul, turnover.
It was the right idea for Maddie Rochi to do a step-up screen on the move for Leilani, but she just wasn't quite there in time, and the referees, right in front of the referees, had no, you know, they had to make that call.
No foul trouble yet for the Flyers on an individual level. Some players on 3 for Canberra. Sharp, Fowler, Munga, all with 3. Mercedes Russell questions the call.
If you look at the scoring right now, Jason, there's 2 dominant players for Southside in Rochi with 15, Russell with 18. But for Canberra, there's more of a range of players that are all contributing.
Potter throws it away. Ernst. Now Rochi, one of those key scorers with 15. Not that time.
Great blocking out by Canberra. That's the ideal situation. When the shot goes up, everybody blocks out and the ball actually drops in the key.
That's Bunton. Call on her, offensive foul. And the point you make about scoring by committee, Laurie, that's exactly the way Kristen envisages it working. There's the call, Bunton on Rochi. Is that it's not going to be about finding specific players. It's about shot selection, who's got the best look, make the right decision. And if you've got a good shot, take it.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly what they're doing in this game tonight.
Mitchell to Rochi. Maddie finds herself in a bit of space. This one's short. Russell against Potter. Mercedes, such a presence.
She'll be close to getting, I mean, we still have a quarter to go, but the double-double, 18 points, 8 rebounds at the moment. We'll keep an eye on that.
She'll go to the line to shoot 2 in the bonus. Takes them both. Southside out to a 20-point lead. Biggest of the game. Final 35 seconds of this third term. Clark versus Rochi. Bunton. Munga trying to shake Jasmine Dickey. Side to Bunton. Shot clock to 5. Alex will take the long 2.
Flyers will go for the last shot of the quarter with 17 seconds left in the game. We can see just the corner of our screen, Beck Cole was sitting on the bench at least.
Get an update from Candy on Beck's condition shortly. So Leilani Mitchell sets up against Jada Clark. Does she find someone or go herself? Goes herself and scores. Good turn from the Flyers. They're out to a 22-point lead. They led by 9 at the half, added 28 points to 15 in that third term. 1 to play in Canberra. Southside 77, the Caps 55. Thanks, mate. Yeah, Sammy, if we go back to the 2-screen stats like we had last year, I don't know if that's possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the other thing this one doesn't have, Laurie, is doesn't have fouls down the side for the team on the left.
No.
Can't see fouls, can't see free throws. Flyers by 7 points at quarter time, 9 at the half, and now 22 at three-quarter time at the National Convention Centre in Canberra. It's the Flyers 77, Caps 55 as we head courtside to Candy.
I went and caught up with the Southside medic team, and they pretty much just said that Beck's had a pretty hard hit to her back. She will not be on for the rest of today. Beck, like we said before, is really tough, so to see her in tears, really emotional, is hard to see. I imagine she's in a lot of pain. Listening in on their huddle as well, it's just the same on repeat once again. Cheryl just saying rebound, rebound, rebound. So look out for rebounds.
There's Candy. I'll get Beck back to Melbourne tomorrow for some scans, and I'll have a better idea of her situation. Wish her all the best. It's 22-point lead to Southside as we enter the final term. ESPN's WNBL Wednesdays, thanks to Ford Aussie Hoops. Jackson inside to Russell. Back outside to LJ. Long three is short.
As we say, we're giving her some grace, Jason, to get her feet again, to get her shots.
Clark to Riley, to Okoye, back to Riley. Shakira against Leilani. Good hands there from Jasmine Dickey. Slaps it out of bounds. Jade Melbourne, Alex Sharp, Alex Bunton all with 10 points. Okoye will keep taking the shots, just haven't dropped for her tonight. That one's short. Clark had it and lost it. Away comes Rochi. Just controlled the game nicely at the offensive end for Southside. Dickey to Russell. Jasmine calling for it, baseline. There she is. Draws a foul.
Well, when we talk about Okoye, we know she's a three-point shooter, but she's 1 from 9 this game. And when that's a situation, you've got to try and find different ways to score and help your team. So I think she's doing a pretty good job defensively on Russell just being the physical presence out there. But offensively, she's got to be able to do something else.
1 from 11 from the field and 1 from 9 from long range. Jasmine Dickey. Only a 59% free throw shooter coming into tonight. 67 at WNBA level last season. Margin at 24 now. Clark to the stripe. There is Jasmine coming up with the board after Rochi once again. Jackson. Okoye gets a hand in there. A little defensive effort from Monica. Riley to Bunton. Munga wraps around. Makes something happen here. Tries to step through. Good defensive work, Rochi again, and Mitchell the beneficiary. Russell to Rochi to Mitchell. Jackson looking to screen a couple, gets it back. They've stepped away from Lauren.
I was going to say third time lucky, but you know what? I like the fact that she's still shooting those. So, you know, she can make those.
Okoye drives this time and then kicks it out to Riley. Off hands, Russell. And Mitchell. Russell to Dickey. Bunton shuffles across. That leaves Russell by herself. Mung covers. Dickey from baseline. Russell over the top. There's the size advantage. Keeps it alive for Southside. Kicks it out to Rochi. And she drains it.
Well, it's three-quarter time. They were shooting the three ball at 55%. Southside. It's probably dropped a little bit, but a nice finish by Rochi.
Clark looking for the option. It's Munga, and she makes it.
There's that answer we talked about. 1-3 at one end, answered at the other.
Mitchell and Rochi both been able to control the game at the offensive end. Gives them such versatility. Russell. Away comes Bunton. To Clark. Margin at 24. Sizzling pass to Munger. She drains another.
Back-to-back threes for Munger.
Margin sits at 21. Flies 82. Caps 61 with 6:50 to play. Great to have you with us on ESPN's WNBL Wednesday. Caps now on the back of those 2 threes from Munger, winning the quarter by a point. Let's have a listen into Cheryl.
Yep. Take whatever shot you guys can get back. Get on the board like that. Get on the offensive boards here. Let's go loop down here. Loop down. I want you to be the shooter. Let's not go loop. I can do that. Curl off it. Okay, you're the one man. You're the one man. Nads, you're going to be this person. Set the screen, curl. See if we get a pop. If not, we go high-low off it.
And remember, if your player's coming, call for the ball. If the guy's going to curl, you're going to get curly.
Yep. Here we go. Southside.
ESPN's WNBL Wednesdays match of the week coming to you from Canberra. Round 2 action. It's the Flyers by 21 points. As we head to Candy, who is in the Canberra timeout.
Yeah, Billy's message this timeout was actually to slow down, to make sure they're sticking a lot closer to their opponent, and they're planning on switching everything.
Thanks, Candy. Russell and Rochi up to 20 apiece for the Flyers. It's been by committee for the Caps. Munger now with 11 leads the way. Ahead of Bunton, Sharp and Melbourne all on 10 apiece.
It's interesting, Jason. The Flyers have scored 82 points. We still have 6.5 minutes to go. But it hasn't been a quick game from either team. There hasn't been real, play at pace, pace
Still
and
zero
space.
fast break points in the game, not one.
So it's so interesting that both teams are playing like that. There's just no fast breaks, no sense of urgency to get the ball up the court.
Flyers with their noses in front of the rebound count now, 39-37. They trailed by 6 in that category at half-time, so Cheryl Chambers would be happier with their process in the second half. And tellingly, the second chance points now, 24-14, Laurie. So given the lead is now 21, half of those are second chance points. They've just been able to keep it alive. Rochi, tough shot, draws a foul.
Smart play by Maddie Rochi. Didn't use the screen, rejected the screen, saw a bit of a driving lane, got her feet in the paint, kept going, just put it up there. She really didn't have a chance to. She got bailed out there, and good for her to draw the foul.
Double doubles for Mercedes Russell now on 20 points, 10 rebounds, and Alex Bunton, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Maddie makes the second. Melbourne for 3. Here comes Rochi, wants to put the foot down. Ernst. Will she work on Potter? Retreats to Russell and now Mitchell. Leilani steps around Fowler. The show, the go, won't finish. The foul. Frustrated Jade Melbourne. The referee just speaking to Jade, saying, hey, settle it down.
Very vocal crowd showing their displeasure.
Timeout's called. With just under 6 minutes remaining. This timeout brought to you by Ford Aussie Hoops, whether your little one's already shooting hoops in the backyard or simply looking to get out there and give it a go. The Ford Aussie Hoops program, perfect way to kickstart their basketball journey. It's the ideal introduction into the great world of basketball for kids aged 5 to 10. Register today, aussiehoops.basketball. Let's take you inside the Canberra timeout. Here's Kristen Veal.
Weirdness and wildness of it, and just play. All right, just play. Right, we're on the back courts, not under the lights. Be you, be free, pick up ball. One thing down there, when we shoot long shots, it's going to rebound long. Yep. So shoot the long shot. Corral it. We'll get second chance. All right. Laugh or cry. That's your choice. Laugh or cry. Here we go. Yes. Here we go.
So Kristen Field taking a really holistic approach to this season. They've done a lot of work on their why. Why are we here? Why are we doing this? It's bigger than winning. She sees basketball as an art. It doesn't have to be perfect. Of course, they're still striving to win, but they're here for experiences and moments and people. She wants her players to become better players, not just pattern followers, as Lauren Jackson consoles Beck Cole. Interesting philosophy, Laurie, from Kristen Veal.
Well, I think, you know, she's has been a player at a high level for a long time. So, you know, I think it was Jade Melbourne's her context when she said she's a player's coach. She really wants to develop relationships, get the most out of her players. And when you've got a young group, you really do have to have a bit of a different sort of game plan out there. The challenge for her will be to keep that going throughout the year. You know, if they don't get a few wins along the way, which I have no doubt that they will, but that's when it's harder to have that sell as to, you know, let's just keep improving.
She said one of the great things about having a young group is that they aren't so rigid and fixed in their ways. Part of what she and the coaching staff are doing are breaking habits that have been drilled into them, regimented ways of doing things. And that was certainly the message of that last time out. He's Sharp. Tangles with Ernst. Gains a foul.
See, I think, as I mentioned earlier, a player like Alex Sharp will really benefit from being in this program. You know, learning to play fairly loose and her leadership role with a young group, because, you know, while she's only 26 years old herself, she's been around the league for a long time compared to some of these other players on the team.
The fascinating thing Kristen mentioned was the junior players are so dominant to come through to make it at this level. They're used to just being able to dominate their opponents through junior level. And she said, look, you've got to change your mindset at this level. You can't get crestfallen and down when someone blows past and scores on you. That's what happens in this league. That's okay. It's going to happen. Just got to get used to it. That's fine. And away comes Melbourne here. Maybe some fast break points finally in the game. Well, unorthodox but effective.
Fourth quarter, halfway through, we get our first transition fast break basket.
Which would suit Cheryl Chambers just fine. Number one item on her whiteboard tonight was defensive transition. They realise they're a young run-and-gun team, Canberra, and the Flyers were adamant they were going to try and stop that tonight, and they have.
Tell you what, there's been a few knocks out there. We see Mercedes just sort of holding her nose. We know Maddie Rocci was sort of, you know, looked a little awkward at a few times. They have a game on Saturday night, so
just checking that top lip there, Mercedes Russell. Maybe checking the teeth as well. Maybe a punch to the line.
Isn't she another great youngster that, you know, there's just so many fabulous young players in the competition, and just to watch their growth and their development and where they're at now and where they go. But how much will she benefit playing with the likes of Lauren Jackson, Mercedes Russells, Carly Ernst?
Rocci tries to step through, and now Ernst from long range again. It's pulling the trigger from deep. Carly Ernst, been a sharpshooter her entire career. Rocci, who spends approximately 38.3% of her time on the floor when she's on the floor.
That's right. Carly Ernst, though, you know, she's gone to various clubs and that, but the constant is that she's a great three-point shooter. She likes to pick and pop. She likes to trail the three. But I have noticed in the last few years she is making a concerted effort to get herself inside a little bit more and, you know, be a presence, finish off inside, so that she becomes just that little bit harder to defend.
Which is the point you were making about Monica Okoye a little earlier.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, if you're not on, you've got to find ways and means of getting yourself involved other ways.
Rocci to Mitchell, right through the sharp screen. Pressure in her face from Munger. Here's Ernst. Potch, Mitchell, slick ball movement from the Flyers.
Really good ball movement. Inside out, extra pass to Leilani Mitchell for that three-point shot. Great teamwork.
Munga to Potter. Melbourne was aware of Fowler, tried to get it there. Didn't get it through the traffic.
Sorry, bit of a snake dribble when she used that screen. She crossed over to come back in front to try and keep her defender behind.
Mitchell to Russell, who thought about the give to Potch in the corner. Instead, they come back to Rocci, tries to step under the screen from Melbourne. And again, Maddie on the floor. Jade Melbourne takes a seat, receives the plaudits from the Canberra crowd. 11 points for her tonight on 3 of 9 shooting, 6 assists. She's certainly been a facilitator tonight for Canberra. Maddie Rocci back to the line now. Chance to make both of these and get herself to 25 for the night. It's been another productive evening for Maddie. 11 points in round 1. And tonight, she's been outstanding.
Well, especially with Beck Cole going off injured, who we know is a scorer herself. Maddie's just really taken up the mantle there.
Munga over the top to Sharp. Flashing through, doing it well was Gemma Potter.
Nice little curl cut. Good poise to finish under physicality.
3.5 to play. ESPN's WNBL Wednesdays. Potch, Russell, trying to get it back to Nadia. Last touch, Southside. Canberra ball. So Laurie, with 3.5 to play, if you're looking at the coaching debrief, let's start with Southside. What Cheryl really liked tonight?
Well, I think she's liked the poise that her players have showed. Like I say, to score 95 points and not have any fast break opportunities, it means they've been getting through their sets and getting good shots. Getting shots, you know, where people know they're coming from and being able to get some second chance opportunities.
And the work in progress areas, as Bunton has it?
Well, I think, you know, the fact that she's all game long still talked about rebounding, blocking out is an area they'll need to continue because Canberra's not a big team. So what about when they play a team like Townsville or a team that's a bit taller again? They're going to have to really hone in on their blocking out and rebounding.
She drains another. She's up to 28 now. Sharp the spin move and draws the foul and gets the finish. 4th foul on Maddie Rocci. Alex Sharp, 14 points on 5 of 10 shooting with 6 rebounds and a couple of assists. Originally from Diamond Creek in Victoria, through the Basketball Australia Centre of Excellence to Wake Forest in the States for college, and then 3 years at the Lynx in the Opals Asia Cup squad this season. On the rise at 26 years of age, coming into her prime, Alex Sharp. To Rocci again. It's Lockridge, my apologies, into the game, which is great to see. And it's to Nakoya.
And that's what I was talking about with Carly Ernst. She was putting the ball, trying to back her player down, trying to get an inside shot in the paint. And that's one thing, you know, I think it was Veely was talking in one of her timeouts. They have to be aware of fouls. You know, Jade Melbourne's fouled out. Sharp has 4, Fowler 4, Munger 4. You know, you have to be able to play, keep your defender, keep your offensive player in front of you, but no, don't reach. Keep your hands out.
See a smile on Beck Cole's face. Ernst makes the first.
What a great asset coming off the bench. 14 points right now. Leilani Mitchell coming off the bench, 9 points.
She rolls it around. 14th season, Carly Ernst, 7 clubs. She was at the AIS, Dandenong, the Caps, Adelaide, Dandy again, off to Romania. A couple of years at the Spirit, Melbourne, now a couple of years at the Flyers.
She's had a baby in that time as well.
Had Kylan in September of 2021 and then came back to play with the Boomers in January of 22 and played in their championship that season. Clark with the inbound. Gets it back from Potter. 2 minutes to play. Loses the handle.
Nice active hands by Lockridge.
He gets it now. So great to see Dallas back. Steps through and finishes. She's such a talent. From Gippsland in Victoria. Another who's come through the centre of excellence. Sharp, the look-away pass. Okoya deserves one and gets one. Her second of the night from long range.
Oh, she'll be breathing a sigh of relief, but going, why not earlier?
Here's Lockridge again. Ants tries to feed it through. Good hands from Jasmine Dickey, but Potter manages to regather. Riley, back to Potter. Sharp to Okoya. Final 65 seconds. Margin at 29. Been an impressive performance. Four-quarter effort from the Flyers. Lockridge. Potch down to 2, needs to put the shot up.
See, that's what you need to do at the end of a shot clock. Put the ball to the floor, get your feet in the paint, attack it. She knew that clock was ticking down. She knew she had to do something. She had to be the one to make a play, and it was a great drive by Potch.
She gets rewarded with a foul and will go to the line. Gemma Potter sits down, receives the applause of the crowd. Great to see Gemma Potter just back out there and playing. Did a left ACL in the under-20 national championships in 2021, then did the right ACL against Bendigo in the opening game of last season. So she hasn't had a lot of basketball in the last couple of years. But the 21-year-old, such a bright future. Just needs game time now. Continuity that'll come and the touch. Kristen Veal saying anything we get out of Gemma this year is a bonus. She's just got a free hit season. No pressure on her at all. Just go out and play. Clark can't make that drop. Trouble called. Canberra ball.
Gee, that'd be fun to have a season like that where just, you know, go out, have fun, get through it.
Well, you feel like that's the environment Kristen's trying to create for all the players through her messaging, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's just go out and play, have fun. You'll make mistakes, that's okay. We'll learn together, we'll get better together. Okoya from long range again and makes another.
Well, she's making up for a little bit of lost time, lost shots out there.
Final 25, 7 seconds between shot and game clock. Lockridge against Okoya. Good handles there from Dallas. Now Fowler. Just tried to pop it over the top. Slapped away. Canberra ball. So from a Canberra perspective, what will Kristen have liked tonight?
Again, I think she likes that, you know, the scoreline's still a 30-point or 28-point game, but they haven't given up. They've still played hard no matter what they've done out there, and I think she'll like that. I think she talked about, wow, their three-point shooting percentage has certainly improved. Sometimes their shot selection maybe wasn't exactly what you'd want, but given her messaging, I think they did a great job.
The Flyers are on the board. Southside square their ledger at 1-1 with a win in the nation's capital that can kickstart their campaign. Southside 104, Caps 79. So 27-point final term for the Flyers. They scored 55 in the second half after 49 in the first. They led by 7 points at quarter time, 9 at the half, 22 at three-quarter time, and run out 25-point winners, 104-79. Mercedes Russell and Maddie Rocci doing the bulk of the scoring. Rocci finishing with 28 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Mercedes Russell with a double-double, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Ernst had 14 coming off the bench, while for the Caps, 14 for Alex Sharp, 11 for Melbourne and Munga, 10 for Fowler and Bunton. Flyers by 25, 104-79. Laurie Chiswick.
Well, I think it was, you know, I think that the Flyers, we knew at some stage they were going to go ahead. You know, I thought the Capitals did a great job the first half of keeping that margin, keeping it to that 7-9 mark. But then I felt like the Flyers just went, okay, we've got to get this done here. We've got to get the ball inside. We've got to focus on Russell. We've got to look at our inside players. And that's when they really started to take advantage of their height and use their game plan.
Maddie Rocci, 34 minutes tonight, and productive minutes they were. 28 points on 9 of 14 shooting. Here she's with Candy.
Maddie Rocci, even though that score ended up 104-79, barely any fast breaks in there, and it felt like a bit of a grind from both teams. Is that what it felt like from your perspective?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a very physical match. We know Canberra are a team that's going to come out and play hard every single game. But a credit to our girls, we stayed with it. We hung in there and we just kept playing every possession.
Yeah, it looked really physical. It also looked like there was a lot of frustration on court too. Do you think that was just down to both teams really wanting to get that first win?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can only control what you can control, and I think the way we handled it tonight was something that we want to be known for as well. So the way we huddled, stayed together, yeah, that was something that we were definitely working on this season.
And congratulations on your vice captaincy as well. 28-7-7 tonight, definitely a leader on the court. How are you feeling about this new role for yourself?
Yeah, good. I mean, whenever I made the move to Southside, I always wanted to be a vice captain or a captain. So I'm really honoured to do that and stand alongside Coley. So yeah, it's a really good experience for me as well. And yeah, I'm really excited about it.
A couple of games on the road for you now, of course. How are you feeling about another one on the road?
Yeah, good. Definitely got to get some recovery in. But yeah, we're off to Townsville tomorrow and hopefully we can get another win there.
Good luck. Well done on your first win this season. Thanks guys.
To Maddie Rocci. Outstanding performance from her, 28 points. We speak of youngsters who are just coming into their prime. It's easy to forget that Maddie Rocci's only 24 years of age. She debuted back in 2017. It seems like she's been around for such a long time. But tonight, game 129 for her. So in some ways, a young veteran.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't even really realize. You look at their ages, and she talked about, you know, wanting to be a captain or a vice captain. So it's great that she's teamed up with Beck Cole in that leadership role. And she, you know, she works so hard defensively and everybody, you know, doesn't want to play against her. But wow, what an offensive output she had tonight.
Speaking of Beck Cole, here she is with Candy.
Yeah, Captain Beck, obviously tonight. Well, actually, back is right, because that is exactly what you accidentally hurt tonight. Tell us a bit about your injury.
Oh, I think I shot not a great shot. And then went for a steal, and when I just jumped on the ball, I think I just got kneed in the back. So you know me, I'm not going to be on the floor. So hopefully we have a few days for a turnaround against Townsville. So I just make sure my recovery is all good.
Beck, we were talking about it on broadcast that you are the toughest person that we know, and to see some tears from you means you must have been in a lot of pain.
Yeah, you know me, I don't ever cry. So obviously I just couldn't get my shit together today. But I'm just so good when I came back. You know, every loss is a lesson, and against Boomers we definitely learn a lot, and I thought we fixed some things and we're going to keep growing, get better. I'm just so proud of the girls tonight.
Always got that captain mindset. Did you get a chance to go back and watch that little bit of tape of when it actually happened?
No, if I was being honest, I was just trying to breathe out back and compose myself, but as always we'll rewatch the games, you know, see what happened, learn from it and just keep growing as a team.
And what are you most proud of your team tonight?
I think two things we really wanted to focus on was defensive transition and rebounding. I actually will have to look at the stats, but, you know, I think the fact we can score on any given day, we held them to under 80, which I think in this league, so many teams are great scorers. I would love to get it under 70, but it's a great start.
And 104 is a fantastic effort from you as well. Cheryl said throughout the entire game today, all she spoke about was rebounds, rebounds, rebounds. That's what you're going to be working on before next game?
You know it, rebounds, rebounds, rebounds. They're game changers and they're things we can control, and that's all effort. So for us, we want to go into every game to control the controllables, do the little things, because that can be the difference between winning and losing in this league.
Beck, so sorry about your injury tonight, but we really hope you a quick recovery and good luck on the next game.
Thanks, Candy Gal.
Thanks to Beck Cole. Great to hear she's okay. As we look ahead to the remainder of round two, Friday night in Mildura, another two teams looking for their first win of the season when Bendigo play Sydney. Townsville will be rocking as the Fire unfurl their championship banner against the team they beat, Townsville and Southside. Part two of that Saturday night doubleheader will see Adelaide head west to face the Lynx. Then Sunday, Kayla George and Guy Malloy face off against their old team for the first time in Sydney. Sydney versus Melbourne. Well, that wraps up ESPN's WNBL Wednesday. Thanks to Ford Aussie Hoops. It's Southside on the board for 2023-24 on behalf of Laurie Chiswick, Candy Hurts, our entire production team. Thanks so much for watching. Join us again next Wednesday night for the Flames and the Capitals on WNBL.